I get it when a friend asks whether they should drop a solid four-figure sum on a new TV. The first thing I hear is, what if I end up with something I can't actually use? You're probably staring at a list of OLEDs, QLEDs, HDR10 Plus versus Dolby Vision, and wondering if the hype around Samsung's newest Vision AI TV is worth the price tag. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's walk through the real-world experience of the Samsung 55-inch class OLED S90H so you can decide before you spend. First off, the biggest thing people worry about with OLEDs is glare. Samsung's glare-free branding isn't just marketing fluff. The panel uses a built-in anti-reflective coating that actually makes a noticeable difference in a sunny living room. I set mine up opposite a large window, and while a standard OLED would have been washed out by midday sun, the S90H kept the picture punchy enough that I could still see deep blacks and vibrant colors without turning on the lights. If you've got a fairly bright space but still want that true source black level, this is the sweet spot that most LCDs can't hit. The AI side of things feels more like a convenience layer than a revolutionary feature, but it does matter when you're binge watching or gaming. The NQ4 AI Gen3 Processor constantly analyzes the incoming signal and upscales anything below 4K to near-native detail. In practice, a 1080p documentary looked sharper, with edge definition that surprised me given the source material. The AI Motion Enhancer Pro also smoothed fast-moving sports scenes, reducing the blur you sometimes see on other OLEDs. If you're the type who watches a lot of older content or plays console games at 60 Hz, those upscaling tricks can make the picture feel more future-proof. Speaking of games, the Ultimate Gaming Pack is Samsung's way of saying low input lag, VRR, variable refresh rate, and ALLM, auto low latency mode, are all baked in. I hooked a PlayStation 5 via HDMI 2.1 and switched to game mode. The latency felt indistinguishable from a dedicated gaming monitor, and the motion handling was crisp during a fast-paced racing title. The only catch is you have to remember to enable game mode and keep your firmware updated, otherwise you'll fall back to the default picture processing that adds a few extra milliseconds of lag. Now, who should actually buy this TV? If you're a movie lover who values perfect black levels, a gamer who wants low lag without buying a separate monitor, and you appreciate voice control through Alexa built right into the remote, the S90H checks a lot of boxes. It's also a solid pick for households that stream a lot of mixed-resolution content because the AI Upscaler does the heavy lifting. On the flip side, if your budget is tighter than the mid-$1000 range, you might be better off with a high-end QLED that can hit higher peak brightness for HDR in a sun-blasted room. Also, if you plan to leave a static channel logo on for hours every day, the risk of OLED burn-in while mitigated by Samsung's Pixel Shift technology still exists, so you'll need to use screensavers or vary your content. A hidden trade-off that caught a few of my friends off guard is the need for proper HDMI 2.1 cables to unlock the full gaming feature set. The TV's ports support 48 gigabits per second, but cheaper cables will bottleneck the signal, causing the TV to fall back to a lower bandwidth mode and lose VRR support. It's a small extra cost, but one that's easy to overlook if you're only thinking about the TV price tag. Another subtle point is the Smart UI. Samsung's Tizen platform is loaded with apps, but the AI-driven recommendations can feel a bit intrusive after a while. If you prefer a minimalist interface, you might spend some time customizing the home screen to hide the auto-suggested tiles. Daily usability is where the S90H shines in a way that isn't captured by spec sheets. The voice remote works reliably for turning on the TV, adjusting volume, or launching Netflix, and the built-in Alexa can control compatible smart home devices without a separate hub. I found myself asking the TV to dim the lights when I started a movie, and it responded instantly. The picture presets cinema, game, sports are good starting points, but the real power lies in the custom AI mode, where the processor